get it. Day 1 of the burger challenge. A 5-week lead-in, no training, poor nutrition, poor adherence. Let's see what day 30 can get us, yeah?
Hi, that's me, and I'm about to embark on a burger a day for 30 days. Now, a little bit of context behind why I'm doing this and what I did prior to the challenge. Prior to the challenge, I thought it would be smart to put myself in a position that your everyday Joe Blow goes through. Poor diet, poor training, poor adherence. I stopped training. Lo and behold, it was during COVID, so it made it a little bit easier. I started to eat poorly. Takeout, overindulging in food, snacks, all to make it realistic going into this burger challenge, and so I could show you why, when it comes to losing weight, calories are king. Why? Chris, why on earth would you embark on a burger a day for 30 days? This is why. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing family, friends, and relatives being taken for a ride in an industry with no boundaries. Being told that you need to eliminate your favorite foods and sweets in order to achieve the outcomes and goals that you want to achieve. I'm sick to death of people diving balls deep into a diet to only quit 4 weeks in. I'm over that. I want to educate you on how you can sustain an adherable diet long term while eating the foods you love, while enjoying it with no anxiety, no stresses, being able to go to a birthday or a wedding, enjoying those foods without having to think that you have to make up for it.
So I'm on the way to Lashings, and well, it's day 1 of the burger a day for 30 days. And I just want to reiterate that I'm not publishing that it's healthy, traditionally healthy. The message I'm simply sending here is that you can enjoy the foods you love in moderation, with no anxiety or no guilt. And if you fuck up, you haven't, just get back on track. Good evening. Day 2 of the burger a day for 30 days. We're here in Concord, New South Wales, Sydney, and we are heading to happy ending. No, you sick fucks. Not that happy ending. Let's see how we go. I'm gonna give today's burger a rating, I reckon. Very nervous. Got to go do a training session right now, okay? But I am going to have to alter that session from a run to maybe just a body weight gym session or something, because I just don't feel good. The reason I went to Macca's today is because I was very time poor, and it was convenient, and it's very applicable because a lot of people do that in their day-to-day life. But it's also okay to say that it's okay, just get back on track.
Okay, so as you can see through the first week of filming, there's been something that I did every morning. So you could see the changes throughout the challenge. I weighed myself. Now, not only is weighing yourself a good thing, because it keeps you accountable and it keeps you on track, it also shows us one thing, that when most people see this, they quit. They crack the shits, they chuck a dummy spit, and they stop completely. And it's weight fluctuations. Throughout the first week, starting at 87.7 in the first day, I dropped 1.2 kilos and ended at 86.5. But throughout the week, we saw a fluctuation and a jump midweek, going back to 87.3, before dropping back down to the 86.5. Why I'm showing you this is because our body does wacky things. Holds on to water, stress. There's so many variations into why the scales can actually fluctuate, that the one thing we should only look at when we're weighing ourselves is that trend, the downward trend. Okay, so now you can see a couple of the places I've been to and locations. You can see that I'm bloody enjoying those burgers because I love burgers. And now you can also see that in some of my meals, I've decided to add a drink or chips. And the reason is this: when it comes to our food and overall diet, we have the choice. No one else but us. We can add chips, we can add a salad, we can add another burger, a Coke, Fanta, whatever it is. That choice is solely yours. But understand that in doing that, you need to account for that in your overall daily intake of food and energy. If you're going to go out with your friends, go out and enjoy it. But know that you need to set your own boundaries and your own rules in your own nutrition and your own goals and diet. If we overstep those boundaries, that is what leads to bad behaviors, and that is what leads to weight gain. There's something I wanted to mention to you guys, something that you probably didn't notice. But over the course of the first 2 weeks, I made a conscious decision to have my burgers between 12 and 2, around lunchtime. That way, A, I could train without sitting on a burger, and B, so that in week 2, I could have them at dinner. For some reason in the fitness industry, there is this stigma that if you eat late, you're gonna put on weight. You couldn't be more than wrong. When it comes to weight loss, and I'll say this again and you'll hear it over and over again in this video, calories are king. Okay. Let's stop the video there. I just want to explain this place for a second. Oh dang. This place is in Wollongong. I live in Sydney. So I've driven an hour and a half down the coast. I got drunk. To be honest with you, I was pretty drunk. Now, amongst everything that I'm doing in this challenge, I've gone out, not a worry in the world, not worrying about the scales, not worrying about the challenge, simply to enjoy a drink with my mate for his birthday. And although I didn't actually plan for this to happen, these things do happen. They happen across our journey of health and fitness. We get variations, we get roadblocks, we get speed humps. And although I may have thought the scales the next day were gonna jump through the roof, they actually dropped to their lowest. But in being fully transparent throughout this challenge, on Monday, I felt like shit. It was the worst I'd felt throughout the whole challenge. And I actually didn't want to get my burger that day. I didn't want to leave the house. At this stage of the challenge, I've dropped 2.8 kilos and I'm stoked. I'm amazed at everything that's happened, but I kind of predicted this. How did I predict this? Well, science really. I opted for a 15% deficit at the start of this challenge. It ended up being an 18% deficit based on variations, but it's still a low deficit nonetheless. One where I wouldn't have to fight back as hard. So let's continue on with the video and see what happens next.
$15 of a burger a day for 30 days. And to be honest with you, today I'm not feeling well. I'm here at Ribs and Burgers in Drummoyne and I'm just not feeling the burger. But on the plus side, seen throughout the first 2 weeks, we're starting to see a very familiar trend in the weight, and I hopefully you can all see that. I'm not over the burgers, I think I'm just really tired. I didn't eat the burgers, huh? No, it's still fucking good, but it's still really good. It actually makes me a bit happier.
The same goes for you too. If anybody steps out of line. As long as we're alive, we got to find a flaw in his plan.
Guys, I just want to give you a reminder on why I'm doing this. The message is simple. When it comes to weight loss, calories are king. Whether you decide to have a burger, pizza, donuts or cookies, you shouldn't feel guilty or anxious for doing so. You should be able to go to a family party or a wedding or your mate's birthday, have a drink. You should be able to eat those without feeling those things. You should be able to account for your food daily, weekly and monthly and still enjoy those foods.
There's a sock. There's a toe.
So just to set the record straight, I didn't just have a burger throughout the day. I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the whole challenge. And on the occasion, a drink and some treats. I just accounted for my burger and if I had the meal throughout my daily intake. I also trained 3 times a week. I made sure I kept my step count high, 10,000 plus steps a day, to make sure I was moving frequently. When it comes to your nutrition, you don't have to isolate your foods. You don't have to minimize everything. You don't have to eliminate everything. You just need to be accountable while still enjoying it. No anxiety, no bullshit, no stress. So remember when I said to you that I deliberately opted to have my burgers between 12 and 2? Well, in the last 2 weeks, I opted to eat most of them at dinner. And like I said, it's because there's this stigma that if you eat late at night, or you eat heavy foods, that you put on fat. This just isn't true. Over the last 2 weeks, I still managed to lose 1.4 kilos. Now, yes, some of you are going to sit there and say, oh my God, but you only lost 1.4 compared to the 2.8 that you lost in the first 2 weeks. It's not quite how it works, but I still lost 1.4 kilos. I didn't put on any weight. Yes, my progression may have been a little bit less, but there are so many more variables to that than what you're thinking. So when it comes down to when you eat and what you eat, the same thing keeps coming back. Your overall calorie intake matters. What a week 3 was. In week 3, I probably visited some of the best burger places in Sydney, and they were on point. And I'm not going to tell you which place it was, but I probably had the best chicken burger I've had in week 3. Now, the end of week 3, we can see the trends very clearly now. We've got a spike into a drop, into some maintenance, back into a spike, back into a drop. It's very clear for you to see here on the screen. Irregardless of whether I was consistent, whether I got on the piss on the Friday night, whether I maintained my protein intake, whether my training was efficient and effective, the trend remained the same, without many variations. And it's why it's important to understand these trends. So when you do go through your journey, know that you are going to see the weight fluctuate. You are going to see some spikes. This isn't an opportunity for you to quit, to throw the towel in, to stop doing what you're doing, to stop all the progress that you've made. It's an opportunity, my apologies, for you to say, oh, okay, I was expecting that. I knew that was coming. Now just to get on with it. Jump back on the wagon. Time to be consistent again.
Oi, you know what day it is?
What day is it?
It's fucking burger day.
Oh, it's burger day.
It's Saturday.
It's burger day every day.
That's true. How many days?
Happy days. Go to the pirates.
30 days. Look, we're here at the fame. If you don't know where this is, I'm not even going to post it. I'm not even going to fucking put the name out. If you don't know where this is, you're missing out. If you want to know, inbox me. I'll tell you where it is. This, I know, is going to hit the 9s. I know that, but with the beer, maybe some wings. We're on. Good afternoon, guys. So it's day 29 of a burger a day for 30 days. I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. 1 day to go. I'm on the way to have my burger now, post training session. No better way to refuel the body than a burger. No, I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. But I'm buzzing, not because the burgers are going to be over after tomorrow, but more so I can't wait to show you the results and why certain things occurred throughout the 30 days. I'm just really buzzing to just show you the data. Can't wait. I don't know how to feel about this. So it's the last day of the burger challenge. I'm about to go do my second last weigh. My last weigh will be tomorrow, the day after the challenge. I just don't know how to feel. I can eat a burger tomorrow. I can have like pizza or pasta in the same day.
When you came around, all my walls just broke down. What a treasure I found. Night by night we grew, nothing that I could do. My heart melted for you. Your love, your love, your love, love in every moment. Never ending story, you were mine. Oh, your love, your love, your love, love in every moment. Never ending story, you were mine.
I don't know where to start.
Love yourself.
So we're here at the end of the burger challenge and it's been an amazing 30 days. I'm personally surprised at some of the results I've got from the total carb intake, total fat, protein intake, how much water I drank over the challenge, how many calories I consumed, how much weight I lost, all these different variables amongst this challenge. And I couldn't be happier and I couldn't be more thankful to every single one of you who followed me through this journey and through this challenge. I really appreciate your support. For those of you who are confused at times, for those of you that disagreed with what I was doing, I really hope you can sit here and understand why I was sending this message and why I did what I did. Again, I had no intent to endorse burgers. I'm not saying that they're traditionally healthy. I'm just simply trying to spread the message that when it comes to weight loss, calories are king. No matter how you look at it, no matter what other perspectives we look at. I don't want to dive into the technicalities, but when it comes to weight loss, calories matter. So pre-burger challenge, I opted to do a blood test. And the reason why I did the blood test was to have a comparison of results, obviously pre and post, but to see and compare the differences from how I was living prior to the challenge to how I was living during and post challenge. And ultimately what I wanted to see was if there were any differences between eating poorly and not exercising and eating well while enjoying the foods I loved and exercising. And the biggest result that came out of it was my low density lipid proteins, which is your LDL cholesterol, which started pre-challenge at 4.6 after not training for 4 weeks, poor nutrition, poor adherence, to 3.3 post-challenge. For me, that is one of the biggest overall differences that I've had, aside from the 4.2 kilos that I lost in this challenge. So now I want to dive into the result with you guys. And I hope you guys are as surprised and open your eyes as much as it opened mine. Because when I saw that I consumed 5,090 grams of carbohydrates, which in terms of kilocalories, guys, is just over 20,000. 20,000 kilocalories of carbohydrates throughout 30 days. And I lost a total of 4.2 kilos. So if you want to sit there and discuss how bad carbohydrates can be, look at these results. Look at the science, look at the facts. You don't have to dive into a fad diet to get the results that you want. You can simply enjoy the foods you love, the foods are part of your culture, a part of your family, and still get results. Still achieve what you want to achieve without dialing back on the things that you love and you enjoy. Let's dive into some more of these results. A total of 51 litres of water, recommended 60 litres. A total of 372,000 steps. 219 hours of sleep. 60,265 calories. 5,090 grams of carbohydrates. 2,500 grams of fats. And 4,000 grams of protein. All accumulate my 30-day challenge. And while those numbers might seem confusing to some, or overwhelming, or non-realistic, this is the facts. This is the end result. The protein, I expected to eat more, and still look at the results I got. When it comes to weight loss, calories are king. No matter what speed hump, or no matter what weddings or birthdays you attend. You can't fuck up. The only time you will fuck up is when you stop completely, is when you allow some fad diet to demotivate you because you either regain the weight that you once had or you weren't able to sustain it long enough to achieve what you actually wanted to achieve. Don't sell yourself short. Stop placing pressure on yourself to achieve a goal in unattainable time. Consistency and discipline leads to success. Fitness is not there to be difficult for you. It's not something that you go balls deep into. It's a lifestyle. It's not gonna hang around for 6 weeks or 12 weeks and disappear. It's forever. And the only person that you have to compare it to is yourself. Nobody else. They're not gonna live your life for you. They're not gonna do the hard yards for you. They're not gonna help you reach your goal. You will though. Be consistent and know that there will be times where you fall off the wagon, where you eat like shit, where you stop training, when life's pressures tear you down. But know this, the only time where you can fuck it all up is when you don't jump back on the wagon. The only time that it's gonna get to you is if you don't try again. Thank you all for joining me on this journey. It's been an amazing ride and I couldn't have done this without you guys. I hope I've taught you something and educated you on the importance of a proper, healthy, sustainable diet while enjoying the foods that you love. No stress, no anxiety, no bullshit. You've got this.